Oh yeah, we're back on the Plymouth. Let me give you guys a little tour of a few things I've done I didn't film yet. So, let me get down here where you can see. We now have letters all across the front of this baby. Oh my goodness, I was so happy to get those. They need a little bit of repair on the studs, but that's fine. And looky what else we got. Oh yeah, and it's even the gold one. Now I do have the regular one that's just silver, but I don't care. I want the gold one. It looks cooler. This was the original. And you can see that's all banged up. So we are very close to having everything on the outside of this car. I need a new rubber housing here. This thing's shot. I don't like how they did these, but I have lenses for these. I got 4 lenses for those. But I did that, and then I've still got to bolt this in, and that's why my horn is hanging down. But other than that, the front of the car is complete. Now you might notice I'm missing my wiper arms, but I do have those. I just haven't installed them. But that's not the point of today. The point of today is this box. Now, this is something I bought before, and UPS lost it. So I got something better. So that's what we're gonna do today. Let's get this puppy put in. You got life flight glowing over every 10 minutes. Ooh, what do we have here? Oh my goodness, isn't it beautiful? This is out of a Plymouth Belvedere, and she's in fantastic shape. So I want to try and pull off these knobs and clean this faceplate up a little bit with some steel wool, and I'll get this thrown on. So let's go inside the car, and I'll get the camera set up in here and we'll start messing around. So I've already had this all disassembled, and I still am missing the latch for this. I found a whole glove box door online, and the guy had the latch in here and everything, but he wanted $65, and I don't need the door, so just for the latch, that's too much. You know, I probably need the little spring on here, if there even is one. It may not be one, but as you can see, I've been doing a lot of stuff in here. I got a horn ring for it, and then discovered this wasn't the right one, so that's probably going to be a wall hanger. Or excuse me, the other one that's on here is not the right one, but this one here is the correct one, but it has one of these tabs broken off, so I'm going to have to TIG weld that. And I'm pretty sure this is stainless steel. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, this one here that's on the car is from I think a 55, and it'll clip in. It's not the right one, but you can see how close those things are. It's mainly just the bezel that's different, but anyway, I've got them, and that'll be another project. But so what we're going to focus on now is yanking this out. This is already unbolted, and you can see there's just a couple of screw spots underneath here, and then you know, this whole bezel comes off. So let's throw this thing in here, and we'll see how this fits. Now, mind you, this is extremely heavy to be doing with one hand, so hopefully I can do this without bumping the camera around too much. And we're getting hung up on the gear shifter. Alright, I would say that's a major upgrade. Now we've got to clean it all up and then get all these little trim pieces put back up underneath here. And I have them all. So these go over the top of this. And my personal preference would be to have these chromed. I think these would look excellent chromed. So let's take a break off camera here and see if I can find the bolts. I messed around this car for about 4 months. But one other thing to mention on here is I actually did install a lock cylinder. But do you see a problem? This stupid button on here doesn't lock into the switch itself, and so it just pops out as soon as you unlock it. And this is the correct one for a whole bunch of different Chrysler vehicles from this era. I put this exact one in a 50 Chrysler and it worked just fine, but in the Plymouth and the Dodge, nope. Let's see what we can do about getting this radio figured out. And turn that down. You know, there's a hole in the glove box up here. I think it's for a little light, but it sure makes it handy to push this thing up in here. Oh man, just caught my finger in there. That felt good. Okay, there we go. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that looks so much nicer than that other piece of crap. This one is in nice shape. It really is. It just has one bend here, which you could straighten without having to worry too much. But if you figure that's kind of how it'd look with the radio in there without that other bezel, and I don't like it. This Belvedere one looks so much classier. I don't even care if the radio works, it just looks a lot better. And then once we get this glove box latch figured out, then the entire interior of this will be pretty well complete. I'm not missing anything else. So I don't know if you guys followed along with all the stuff I've been doing on this car, but this car was in a wrecking yard that my friend owns, and it was just too complete and too straight to see it get crushed or stripped out. You know, just everything. And he had a 55 sitting there with the parts that I needed to complete this, including a windshield, which is behind the camera right now. But unfortunately, somebody took a few of these things off. And the gauges were still in here, but they're all smashed up. So somebody really went to town on those gauges, smashed all the glass. Okay, here we are. Now, these just go in here with this trim. If you ever notice in these Plymouths, Plymouth did a kind of a smart thing back in the day, and they finished this dash up here in a satin finish paint so that this wouldn't be shiny and blind you while you're driving. It's kind of an interesting thought. I would prefer it were shiny just for the fact that it looks better, but yeah, I didn't know that. I thought it was just sun faded, and it sure is, but it also was intentional. I'm going to try and pull these knobs off and take this whole bezel apart and clean this up. Floor in this poor car. I don't know what I'm going to do about that, because it is very hard to find body panels for this car, and when you do find them, boy are they pricey. Ooh. Now, for some of you more astute viewers who are familiar with these cars, you'll notice I do not have the speaker in here. I don't care, right? I can put my hand underneath here and say, oh, okay, there's no speaker. And The Plymouths that had a speaker here had like a little grill, kind of looked like a fan, you know, grid or whatever you want to call it. But I don't care. I really don't. I just want to leave it like this. I like this Plymouth emblem right here. It might be redundant because it says it here too, but I can mount a speaker back here, and you know, it's not going to be any different. I don't want to go spend a bunch of money just to get a stupid grill when this is in really nice shape. And this is what I want to do to it. Just want the radio because the delete plates look stupid in my opinion, and mine got bent and broken anyway, so why do I not want a radio in here? And I am not wiring this radio today, so this isn't the point, because this car has some severe wiring issues. Somebody decided they'd hack all the wiring in this at the wrecking yard, which really annoys the crap out of me. But that's what they did, so I took the wiring out of a Plymouth that was much, much farther gone than this. I mean, yeah, that thing is basically stripped, but I got the wiring out of it so that I can at least attempt to make a wiring harness for this. And I'll polish these up just a touch. I believe these are stainless as well, which is good thinking on Plymouth's part. You see how this would look better if it were chrome? It's just painted silver. Figure I'll paint it same color as the valve covers. I just used some AutoZone paint, and that worked out really well on the valve cover. Let me show you. So, pretty good looking silver. And that's really close to what the original was. The whole engine was silver. Now you might say, well, Reaper, why didn't you go get you another screwdriver? Make this easier on yourself. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because it's Sunday and I'm being lazy. That's why. And this is working fine. Okay, man, it's getting a little warm in here. That's surprising. It's been very cold and snowy. We're supposed to get more snow today. And all through the next part of the week. So, you know, it's probably 20 degrees warmer in here than it is outside, of course, but it's warmer than I thought it would be in here, considering we're open to the, you know, bottom of the car here. All right, I think that's it. Let's give you the overview here. So, once again, replaced all the gauges. These are all original. I need to have some gauge lights, you know, just a little lenses. I need to get those. I need to fix this. All right, guys, we're gonna try this again because the camera overheated for some reason. So here's the overview. It's turned out pretty good. Once again, thanks for watching. Once again, like, comment, subscribe. This is Reaper, signing off on another one. We'll see you guys later.